Dr. Susan Gitau coming to you today, continuing with our subjects of gratitude. And I'm just giving you a list of things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my breath of life. I'm grateful for my family, grateful for my employer, grateful for my friends, grateful for partners, especially those that have really come on board to help me in my community service. And I'm also grateful that I was able to get a second dose of COVID-19 AstraZeneca vaccine, because we're having so many people in my country, and this is common in African countries and all the countries that are developing, that having this vaccine is actually an opportunity one cannot take for granted. It's my prayer that all that would like to be vaccinated, because it's somebody's choice as well, they can actually have the vaccine. One of the things that motivated me to take the first dose is the fact that I'm highly exposed working with young people, the super spreaders. I also go a lot out there in the community, and being a counselor and being a university lecturer, that highly exposes me. And so taking care of myself was very, very critical. Last time I really talked about gratitude. And I believe, my friend, you have also looked at life from a gratitude point of view, because many a times we worry about the things that are not going right. We worry about people that have hurt us, people that have pained us, but we don't look at that side where we can say this has gone well, and this one, wow, amazingly, I'm grateful for this and this. The list can be long. Today I want to just talk about my experience, my journey, since my sister passed on 26th of this month. That marked 2 months since I lost my sister. And I'm thinking about you, friend, who has also lost a loved one during this pandemic period, whether it's through COVID or any other illness or whatever act may be that led to their death. Loss and grief have become very, very common, especially amongst us Kenyans. And I believe also across the board. And it's my prayer that we'll all work together to heal ourselves, heal others, and move on. Death of a loved one, among many other causes of loss and grief, is one of the most stressful experiences. People move from mourning period, they go to the state of bereavement, they also negotiate the grief moments. And one of the most maybe stressful experiences when you have complicated grief. And so I'm coming out to you, friend, and any other person who has a friend or close relative who has had complicated grief. What would complicate your grief process? We talk about other stressors. Like in Africa, we really worry about where you will be buried. We worry about who is going to bury you. We worry about inheritance. We worry about who are the other people that are going to show up. Did this man or this woman have other children that were not known to the family? So there can be family stressors. There can be social cultural stressors. Like if you're not married, where will you be buried? So many things. If we also worry about religion, where will you go after you die? We worry about who is going to bury you. So in Africa, we worry about many things. I'm not sure about the West, what you worry about, but in Africa, we do worry about where you will be buried. So even the people that lie in the cemetery still is a bone of contention. But we also have situations in the grieving process that complicate somebody's experience, response, and the healing process, where you have people maybe suffering from financial constraints. They're still raising funds to cover medical bills for their late loved ones, or they are raising money to ensure that the body is transported from point A to B. Negotiating space this time is very difficult. because you have people who need to have family around them, friends, but we still have the health protocols in place. So we are having many people who are feeling lonely. Africans, we like to work together. So we have people feeling alone. If you're going to have that funeral committee, maybe it's just your family members or a few friends. Neighbors could also be worried, especially if they're not sure what the loved one died of. They may think it's COVID and they're afraid of being infected. So there are all those factors that can complicate the grieving process. We do also have internal wrangles among relatives, in-laws, and sometimes there could be legal tussles. All these are stressors that complicate somebody's grief moments and especially go into closure. We also do have people who are not able to get out of the bargaining stage, whereby we may have some people thinking they could have done better to save their loved ones. They could think maybe there was something they could have done and they never did. But probably today I want to encourage you, if that person passed away, died for that matter, that happened. And now the big question is, how do you move on without them? And so it's important to seek the help of a counselor and speak out what you're thinking, what you're feeling, because the more you speak out and express it, or you can do journal writing, the more you get in touch with the reality of what thoughts are crossing your mind, the feelings that go with it, and the actions you're likely to have. Because most people who get stuck in the bargaining stage, they have wishful thinking, they have moments of a lot of sadness, a lot of sorrow. They can keep also re-experiencing being with the person, and others can actually get very angry with themselves and other people, especially where you are blaming the hospital could have done this, or so and so could have done this, or I could have done this. And because there's nothing that can bring you to do exactly what you'd have wanted to do, you turn out to be very angry, highly irritable, and this can also affect the people around you. So it's important that we know we can just accept it happened, and we can also process it by sharing it, writing about it. And art therapy is also very, very powerful, just letting your mind flow. And art therapy is not just for children, it also works for adults, because it's able to remove the blocked energies in your subconscious or your unconscious. And one of the things that I like to say about Africans is, like, we also love singing. We also like listening to music. If you can listen to that music that can nurture your soul, the better. We also love to visit the graveside. So if that also helps you to go there, if you didn't have a closure, talk with that person. It doesn't really hurt. It doesn't really make you look as if you're mad, but you're just trying to express how you feel and how you're thinking. And you don't have to do it loudly. You can do it maybe inside your heart. Some people are good at writing letters to their late loved ones, and probably tell them what you're going through and how you took their death, how you experienced it, because it's also very powerful for you to get closure. If there are people probably that are still breathing, there are people you can reach out to and you have unfinished issues with, so that you can have closure with your loved one. You can also reach out to them. But most importantly, if you cannot close it with your friends, your family members, your own personal initiative, you can decide to now seek the services of a grief counselor or a counseling psychologist or a clinical psychologist. This can help you a lot. And for those Africans that really believe in God and in religious beliefs, you can start thinking about your sense of meaning, thinking about your legacy when you leave Earth. And so you can basically use all the tools that are available to make you have a closure. I may continue with this. The more questions you ask, especially when we meet on Facebook, when we meet on Instagram, when we meet on my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe. I would like to do more and more so that we can see how we can help one another. But don't forget what I keep telling you, that always breathe in the good things and breathe out what doesn't help you. Breathe in what helps you and breathe out what doesn't help you. Breathe in again and breathe out. The more you do breathing in and breathing out, the more you get in touch with your body, and the more you realize where negative energies are blocked, and the more you get your freedom. Thank you. God bless you. Dr. Susan Gitau. Thank you.